bold dots or fine lines. See how switching your pen work completely changes the look of your stamps. In today's tutorial, I'll walk you through both techniques step by step so you can decide which style you love most or mix them for even more impact. Stay tuned. I will use the Builder Garden Rose Reverie stamp set, and I have already stamped this on 2 separate panels of Classic Crest Solar White cardstock in Obsidian pigment ink. To add detail to the image, I will use the new Fine Liner and Flex Calligraphy pen sets by Altenew. For the first image, I will add dot detail, and you can use any pen size or all pen sizes to add variation of dots. I will start with a 0.5 and add a larger, more thicker dots along the inner edge of the petal, concentrating heavily there to mimic shading. Then I will use the 0.05 size to diffuse the dots and make them look slightly organic, more naturally spread out. If you want to add more detail, you can also add some dots to the tips of the petals where you see divots. I will repeat this for all the petals. But if you find that this is becoming too busy, choose to skip adding dots to some of the petal tips and also a few smaller petals. Now to add more depth, use either of the Flex Calligraphy pens. I'm using the medium size here to go over the inner side of the petal. Make sure to use the pen at an angle or press it slightly to make the stroke broader and add variation rather than maintaining a consistent stroke. The variation will give the image a more professionally drawn look. For the leaves, I will use a medium-sized Flex Calligraphy pen to go over the outline, making some areas thicker to add variation in line detail. I will also add more thick veining. Then I will use a 0.3 fine liner pen to add more line detail from the midrib outward and from the leaf edge inward. Afterward, I will fill in the area with detail using a 0.05 sized pen, which will create shading on the leaf. I will repeat this process for all the leaves and then set them aside. Moving on to the next image. For this one, I will add line details. I really like this look. I will start with the 0.3 fine liner pen. And again, remember, we want the base of the petal to be dark and intense. So we will start from there. I'm drawing lines toward myself, and this works for me. Also move the cardstock around instead of moving your hand. You can draw lines both ways and see what works best for you. Not all lines you draw have to be solid. Some can be broken or dashed, and those look cool too. I have added them to the tips. I always like to add them to the tips of the petals from the divots downward. Once I have added the lines with the 0.3 fine liner pen, I will add shading using the 0.05 pen. This is the pen I use to fill in areas and create shading, so it will likely be your most handy and frequently used pen in the set if you want to do shading with just the pens. I'm using the 0.05 pen and plan to add some extra veining to the leaves to make them look fuller. You don't have to do this, but we are aiming to enhance the overall image. I'll also make sure the stamp I use is unrecognizable. If you compare the dots and line images side by side, they'll look quite different. And just to note, I used this image in the last video and those cards are very different from what I'm sharing today. I will repeat the same step as before using the large sized Flex Calligraphy pen set. I will add a broader stroke to the base of the petal. Doing this will instantly elevate the look of the flower. I will use the same pen and add several dots to the leaves randomly in clusters. I will repeat the same technique for the other flower and then fussy cut the images so I can arrange them differently. To create the cards, I'm using 2 panels of classic Crest Solar White cardstock, and this can be the size of your card front. For card 1, with the line detail florals, I will use a large blending brush and start applying cotton candy fresh dye ink from the bottom edge towards the top. I will create an ombre look with concentrated inking on the lower edge and with a diffused look towards the top of the panel. For card 2, with the dot detail flower, I will use a small blending brush and apply Cloudy Sky Fresh Dye Ink from the right hand side corner of the panel to the top left diagonally. I overlap the ink with Pool Fresh Dye Ink to change the ink's tone. Next, I will use carbon black gouache and add fine splatters on both the panels and let them dry for a minute. I used the piped waffle die and circle quilt cover die and cut it out of a jet black cardstock. I will selectively cut pieces out of these and tuck them behind each arrangement. Next, I will add some elements of dazzling diamond glitter cardstock. For the dot detail on the blue card, I also included a strip from the Essential black and white paperback and tucked in a fishtail cut glitter banner. The thread on the tag is Silky Lilac from Altenew, and all the bling is Stellar sequins in dazzling diamond. For the line detail pink card, the sentiment is from an upcoming crest plate stamped in Cosmic Berry Fresh Dye Ink. And the bling is again Stellar sequins in dazzling diamond. So which one will you try first? Bold dots or fine lines? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss my next tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Wait, we have more where that came from. If you're after fabulous card making tutorials, you are definitely in the right spot. Our amazing design team create and upload fabulous video tutorials right to this YouTube channel. If you don't want to miss another amazing crafting tutorial, don't forget to subscribe and click that fun red button that you can see. Let's become paper crafting experts together.